Welcome everyone. I'm Valibrarian, co-coordinator of the Virtual Worlds Education Consortium, and I'm joined by Marie Vans, our event team lead, and she's the coordinator of the VWEC Student Challenge. Unfortunately, Ellie Pinion is unable to join us today, but you will certainly see Ellie around the Student Challenge. We're really sorry that she's unable to be here today, because Ellie did so much work setting up this region and creating the shirts that are up here on stage for all of us that you can see Marie and I are wearing to kick off the 2026 VWEC Student Challenge. We're excited to kick this off, this amazing event with you, and we're glad you're joining us today. We are going to have this recorded in case there's anyone who couldn't attend, and we'll also be taking some pictures. Feel free to take pictures yourselves. If you do not want your avatar in the pictures or recording, please let me know via a private IM. Our kickoff event today is primarily for instructors, but we are glad to have any students that were able to attend as well, because the Student Challenge is really about you. We would also like to thank Linden Lab, Builders Brewery, Happy Hippo, and Gentle Heron for their active support to make this happen. You likely already know Marie brought her vision of the Student Challenge to us back in January of 2023, after doing a similar real-life physical world event at her university with great success. We thought it was a great idea. And here we are with the VWEC Student Challenge. We'd like to thank you for your interest in our fourth Student Challenge, Serious Simulations in the Metaverse. Our first three challenges were much more than we ever expected, and we truly believe it supported learning for the students that participated. Similar to programming a challenge, you might call it AKA hackathon in the real world, in the physical world, we hope that this building challenge will give instructors one more virtual world tool to engage your students with your content. Programming challenges are a popular way to quickly create content and applications in the fast-paced world of technology innovation. These events are typically run through academic institutions or high visibility technology companies like Google and Meta. They usually run between 36 hours and 1 week, with most around 36 or 48 continuous hours. The final products of these challenges are typically prototypes that the schools or the companies can use as proof of concept, which may then be taken up for fleshing out later on. VWEC was approached to sponsor such a challenge, but instead of being a continuous number of hours, it will run for 2 months, which should allow students who might be new to Second Life enough time to gain proficiency with the Second Life interface, with building and scripting. The event will be open-ended enough to let instructors fit into their content, but includes some rules and a rubric that I will be sharing with you in just a few minutes. We want to inform your students with best practices for building and teaching in Second Life. The challenge officially begins today, February 14th. There are goals and prizes. We will have judges selected for the individual expertise, and awards and prizes will be based on points. The points are given using the rubric, which I will share. Prizes have been generally donated by Metaverse libraries, and they include 2 premium memberships, $200 from Metaverse libraries, plus Linden's, 300 Linden's total. Instructors will receive the first prize, 1-year premium membership, for the school plus 4,000 lindens. Second place will receive 1-year premium membership plus 2,000 lindens. And third place will receive 10,000 lindens in linden money. Students, and they given and distributed to the instructor the following prizes. Most authentic build will receive 3,000 lindens. Most interactive build, 3,000 lindens. Best presentation, 3,000 lindens. We have, as I mentioned, courtesy of Ellie Pinion, who has created these for us, student and instructor outfits for all that are a part of the challenge. They come in different colors. I'm wearing the blue one, and Marie is as well. You can get these from the boxes right here on stage at the opening area. Student outfits are under the desk by the examples, and instructor t-shirts behind the slide projector. You can cam in a bit, and you should be able to easily find them. As you look around, you will see there will soon be parcels allocated to the individual teams. We will be allocating those this week. We encourage you to look around this region and start thinking about a design. Behind me is a box. You can see a large semi-transparent box behind the stage that will help you know what the perimeters look like. These will be put on your building area to help you, and you can return them when you don't need them anymore. And don't miss the Student Commons and Builders Brewery area. Those are located behind me as well. If you'd like to see the exhibits from last year, you can find a video overview of them at the following YouTube link. I'm now going to turn the microphone over to Marie, who's going to tell us some more information. So Marie?
Okay, just trying to get myself set up here because I'm driving slides at the same time I'm talking, so it's kind of hard to chew gum and walk at the same time. Thanks so much, Val. I'm going to give you some information on the logistics of this challenge. Today we are, oops. That didn't work. There we go. Today we're kicking it off, and hopefully most of the teams are formed by now, or you guys are close to it. These teams will be designing and implementing an educational exhibit of their choice while following a rubric which we have given the instructors, but are also available here in the Resource Center. We also have learning events scheduled throughout the challenge, starting with a Builders Brewery course here on the Second Student Challenge region. So the first one is going to be Saturday, February 28th at 9 a.m. Pacific time, or Second Life time. And this will be followed by a Q&A for the students who are attending. Then a week later, we're going to have Gentle Heron talking about accessibility, and that's on March 7th. I strongly encourage you to either attend or watch the video that's made of this event, because one of the criteria on the rubric is accessibility. The accessibility presentation will be followed by a tour of Happy Hippo, which is another great resource for you to use for learning about building in Second Life. So we'll have the accessibility presentation here, and then we're all going to jump over to Happy Hippo. So Builders Brewery will then be back on the 28th at 9 a.m. for an intermediate building course. And you'll notice that we have quite a bit of time between the absolute beginners and the intermediate. And this is to allow you to get enough experience with Second Life, building in Second Life, that that you should be able to bring your questions to the second one. The exhibits will be due on April 22nd at noon, okay? And that's a Wednesday, and that's right before our closing event. So I also wanted to mention two really important best practices for our presentations. First, please be sure that all team member names are on the title slide. We've had this issue in the past, but we really want to make sure that everyone gets credit for the work that they have done. Then second, when you're setting up your in-world slideshow, make sure that autoplay is off. And now this is because for whatever reason, autoplay defaults for the media on a prim that it's really typically set to on. So this causes the video to automatically play when an avatar gets near the presentation, and it's not possible for the judges to turn it off. So we are really happy to show you how to turn it off in case you don't already know how. So student presentations must be recorded and installed at their exhibit for qualified judges to review by noon, April 22nd. The judges will be provided with the rubric and will rate each presentation and exhibit based on that rubric. Once all the exhibits and presentations have been graded, awards will be given out based on these ratings. The closing ceremony will be held the following Saturday, April 26th, at 9 o'clock a.m. Second Life time, where the awards will be given out. Exhibits will need to be taken down by May 4th. We will be sending out a reminder prior to May 4th so that you can remove your exhibits by then. Okay, so a little note about the rules of engagement that will apply during the course of the challenge and until the exhibits are taken down. So displays should not be commercial. These are for educational purposes only. Tip jars or soliciting donations is not allowed. No nudity, artistic or otherwise, is allowed. No copyright or trademark infringement. The display of hate-oriented content. And please use respectful communication. We are not responsible for students visiting regions that we have not recommended. Students will not willingly remove, replace, or otherwise damage other teams or team member works. And all builds must remain inside the boundaries of the 32 by 32 by 32 parcels that each team will be given. This includes the bounding box of non-phantom sculpties and mesh. An exception can be tree branches that might overhang the parcel. But these must be at least 2 meters off the ground for clearance, and they must be set to phantom and not excessive so that we don't get blocked by them from walking around. So VWEC is working with Linden Labs to ensure the security of high school students that participate in the Student Challenge. So please make sure to let Ellie, Val, or myself know if you see any of these rules being broken, and if verified, the exhibit may be disqualified. So the last thing I will present here is on building parameters. For now, the parcel footprint will be 32 by 32, and when we look at the exhibit spaces, these are currently 32 by 32. So we're hoping to assign parcels in the next week or so, and we will notify you when your parcel is ready. The maximum number of prims that you're going to be allowed to put on that parcel is 500, and that's typically plenty for the exhibit. The region for this SL Student Challenge itself has been donated by Linden Labs, and for that we are really grateful. We would not be able to offer this experience without their support. And this entire region is dedicated to the challenge, and it has other features in addition to the actual spaces for student builds. There is a central resources parcel which contains the landmarks to virtual ability orientation, several exemplary educational builds that we encourage you to visit before starting your own design activities. And this can allow you to get ideas that will help with your own exhibits. That's the place that we're sitting on right now, is the Central Student Resources Center. There's also a panic button that allows students and instructors to reach out with questions either on our dedicated Discord channel or by IMing one of us in World. There's a separate parcel for the Builders Brewery and Accessibility live instructional events. And there is a calendar on that place of Builders Brewery courses that you are free to sign up for and take outside of the Student Challenge. You may consider doing this to enhance your own building skills. And then again, we are here to help, and please feel free to reach out with any questions you might have. As I tell my own students, there's no such thing as a dumb question. And if you have a question, it's probably because we forgot to provide the answer and everybody else is wondering the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and hand this back over to Val now.
Okay, thank you, Marie. I'll come back over to the podium. And just a heads up to Fran, who's recording, I am going to move about a bit to show you a little bit about what's around this stage area. So thanks so much, Marie. I'm going to share some instructions for you, and I know this is a lot of information to take in, but I'll show you how you can come back and find it later. We want to go over the rubric for what needs to be included in your student build. So let me just walk over there, since we're in Second Life and we can walk around. Right over here on this wall, we have a lot of information for you, and I'm going to stand right in front of the rubric. You can see the rubric on this large poster, and it's also online in a Google document, and here's the link in the local chat. We have 5 criteria to address in your build. This is how you're scored for the challenge. The first criteria is authenticity and accuracy. That should be apparent in your build and your presentation. In other words, where did you get your information? Examples are accurate historical content of a particular area. Say you're building something in history. Or a scientific build might have scientific language that's accurate. The concepts that are demonstrated show where you got the information. That's authenticity and accuracy. The second criteria, but let me tell you, of course, this is not meant to be set in stone. It's just a guide. As far as historical attire and clothing, we're not the costume cops. But we want you to show that you're aware of the importance of authenticity and accuracy. Then the second criteria is citation of sources. And this means that you show where you got the information and you give credit. If virtual assets are purchased, say from the marketplace or from a store in Second Life, you can do that, but you need to credit the creator. Original work will be rated heavily, and the majority of the experience should be built by the students. Now, if AI is used, the purpose of using artificial intelligence must be clarified. Instructors are responsible for clarification of how credit is given. Examples might be, you could give credit in a note card, at the close of a video. We are not requiring any specific formatting for your citations, such as an MLA or an APA citation. We just want you to show where you got your information. The next criteria is accessibility and aesthetic appeal. We want you to show that you've considered people who may have hearing loss or low vision in your build or presentation. A well-designed build considers the colors and the textures. Examples are, we want eye-pleasing tones, not spinning neon signs and things like that. Virtual worlds provide rich experiences for people with disabilities. I mean, you can fly here. You can do anything here. While we do not expect you to design your build primarily for people with disabilities, it's important to consider that accessibility. And Gentle Heron will be a great resource for all of you at Virtual Ability Island. And as Marie said, she's going to do an event, it's on the calendar, to help you understand that. The next criteria is interaction and or immersion. And that criteria element just means that your audience can do something. It's not just a pretty build, but you can interact. You can click and interact with objects rather than just view slides. Take advantage of the power of 3D. And the final criteria that you'll be judged on is a presentation. The presentation includes how you explain your content to your audience. This presentation should show the subject matter clearly using both voice and text. A video and good pacing of information enhances your build. You'll learn a lot more about these concepts as we go along, and we have many individuals to help you, including the classes offered by Builders Brewery, Gentle Heron, and Happy Hippo. Look where I'm standing by this box that kind of looks like a robot with a rotating circular cylinder on the top. There are handouts located right here in this high-tech handout box. Just click on the rotating sign for Student Challenge resources. And remember to come back to this landmark and look at these resources again later, because we're giving you a lot of information today. You will find in your handouts landmarks to the instruction area and this landing point where we are today. I mentioned that purchasing items on the Second Life marketplace is permissible, but they need to be modified and made your own so they align to the subject and the learning objectives of your build. Not just a pretty building. It's what you put inside. It's what it represents that makes it educational. We have some exemplary builds that you can visit to get ideas, to see potential for serious simulations. So if you open the note card in the handouts that's called 2026 VWEC's Second Life Student Challenge Examples and Landmarks, you'll find landmarks that you can go visit just to help you get ideas of different types of builds. We've chosen some diverse simulations to show a variety of subjects and perspectives. And don't feel overwhelmed. And if you do ever feel overwhelmed, as Marie said, we have a panic button. Builders Brewery mentors will be available to help you on Discord. All that information is also on the handouts. Feel free to offer friendship to us. So if we're in world, you can always reach out to us and ask a question, or we can come and meet you too. The Discord channel is right here, and you can get on Discord for the VWEC Student Challenge server. I mentioned that you can reach out to the three of us, Marie or Ellie or myself, right here in Second Life. Feel free to offer friendship. And right now, I think we can open up, Marie, for any questions. So I know you're probably feeling a little bit overwhelmed with information. Feel free to ask any question. As Marie said, there are no dumb questions.
Thank you, Val. Yeah, so we're here to answer questions. And the other thing that we can do is we can kind of walk around the island to see, get an idea of how big the spaces are. And as I think we said earlier, we will be getting those parcels out to you within the next week or so.
And questions can come from students or instructors, anyone. Just let us know if there's anything you want to ask.
And also friend us. That way you can tell we are online.
Yes, Zinnia is asking about students needing some complex objects like props. Yes, it is. As we said, some things can be purchased from the marketplace as long as they enhance what it is that you're building. They're not just a pretty prop. But yes, we want you to build, but also be able to take advantage of the amazing things that you can find in Second Life, and then tweak them and make them your own. Certainly, instructors can provide materials for the students. That would be awesome. I am getting a couple friend requests, so keep them coming. Yes, you're going shopping. Yes, it's great. And some things that you get can totally be modified. It gives you a good starting point for your build. And hopefully everyone was able to see the big semi-transparent box that shows you how much space you get to build in, and then you will be given your space very soon. And remember that all of our dates are also on our VWEC website, so you can easily see when those classes are offered. It's under the tab called Student Challenge. And we hope you have a lot of fun with this project. We've had students in the past say that they learned so much from this, but also found it to be exciting and very engaging.
So Val, should we stand up and kind of let people kind of do a little quick tour here?
We certainly can. We can wander around while we're wrapping up here. And I believe Zinnia was talking about being added to a building group. We do have the Student Challenge group in Second Life. Let me just see the Student Challenge group here. Okay, and let's see. If you're not, I can just offer this to everyone right now. If you're not in it, you can join. If you're already in it, just don't worry about the invitation. And of course, instructors, feel free, if you have small groups with a class that you teach, you can utilize that as well. The beauty of Second Life groups, there are many, and you can just pick and choose which ones you want to join. Yes, Marino won first and second place awards, and here you are again. So that shows this is a very powerful experience. And Marino is working in my Minecraft club. I might mention that we have some younger children in this student challenge, but they're not here in Second Life with us. We modified the rubric for them because you need to be over 13, and we do have a few high school students at times that have participated as well, and we can modify for younger students.
Okay, should we stand up and take do a little bit of around the island tour here?
We might want to walk over and show them where the classes take place for sure,
Yes.
because it's important to know that. And they're back in the far corner back this way. Should we head there first, Marie?
Yes.
Okay, this is where Builders Brewery and Gentle Heron will hold their classes. We highly encourage you to come. I always learn a lot from these classes. No matter how long you're in Second Life, there's so much to learn about the interface. So it's right back this way.
And you see this giant box next to me? This is this transparent box. That's the size that you guys will get to build on.
You can join their group and go there and practice, and they have people who will help you. It's a great resource. And then opposite this corner is the Student Commons, where there's just some fun games over there. When you want to take a break and just play around and chat, there's a little area for you over there. And if you cam around, you'll see that each one of there's a lot of areas with numbers on them, and it shows you which parcel. Like, I'm just going to run over to parcel 5 to show you what I mean. This is parcel number 5. So when you're assigned your parcel, there'll be a number, and then you'll be able to build there. It will have the transparent box, so you will get an idea of how big what your parameters are, and you want to make sure that you stay within that limit. What else, Marie?
Let's show them the isn't there another where that, I guess, where the giant tree is? I don't know exactly. I can't, my draw distance is very hard, but we have a place where we're showing, we have a bunch of like, we have some games, and we have
Let's walk over there.
Yeah, we have
or run or fly.
examples of previous student presentations and stuff. So
don't drop the camera.
And you can come back and there's games and stuff you can do here. But the other thing that I really want to point out is this section here that can't jump. How do I jump?
Let's see.
This page up.
Yeah, there's games here, trampolines, jumping games, some other table games over here, and examples from this past student challenges over here.
Yeah, so these are playable machinima. I think these are the presentations that the students did, so you can get an idea of what the presentation. So basically, you could just, shouldn't you be able? Yeah, if you just press on it, then you should get an error that says you can't watch this on YouTube anymore. Oh no!
Right, because
we
of
have
that
to
change.
fix that.
YouTube made a change in their policy of being able to embed the video right on a prim. So that's what we're addressing. But we'll find workarounds and we'll help you.
Yeah. No, we should fix these, because it's kind of nice to be able to come and see what other students have done. Yes,
we will have to now we have a lot of videos in World that we're going to have to go in and change because of that problem.
Yeah. But I do also want to say that the nice thing about being able to see what previous students have done is to get a feel for the amazing things that they have done, and the vast majority of them have never been in Second Life before they did this. So it's motivating, because you can see what is possible in the course of this challenge, which is only a couple of months, right? So it's supposed to be, it's motivating, I guess. So come back and we'll get these videos fixed, but come back and look and see what previous students have done.
Yes, that'll be one of our first things we need to do, is make sure we get our videos available, and because you do get a lot of ideas about the different ways that you can take something and build it in 3D. All different subjects have been represented.
Okay, any other questions? You guys will be, your instructors will be given the space, handed the space, I think, like we said, in the next week or so, and then hopefully you can all make it to the first Builders Brewery event.
That's just in a couple weeks. I'll putting it in the chat. It's over at that building area, and on the 28th at 9 o'clock. So that's 2 weeks from today. We will see you right here again, and it's a really fun class. You'll get hands-on training on building with prims. So we're really glad you came today. We're very excited to see what you come up with. And like we said, we'll just keep in touch and feel free to ask us questions anytime. if like I'm not an expert builder, but if you get in touch, I'll help you find someone who can answer the question. There's a lot of people available to help you.
Yeah, and the other thing is we encourage you to join the Discord channel, because if there isn't anybody online inside Second Life at the time, your chances of finding somebody on the Discord are pretty high. All right, well, this is the official kickoff. Good luck, everyone, and we can't wait to see what you do.
Yay, have fun, and we're going to learn a lot. So I'm going to head out now, and it's been really great. Thank you, Marie.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Val.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.